Hey everybody, welcome back to Zippy Industries. So today we're going to do something that I've been wanting to do for quite some time, and that is we are going to put together the ctnewman frame jig and rotisserie. So let's get to it. Damn it. Alright, so I got chaos a little organized. So on his drawings, essentially because there's a whole bunch of modules and everything goes together. So like, this is the base of like the fixture. These are your uprights for the axle, and this is for the neck, and then so on and so forth. So you got the engine fixture and then transmission and all the other stuff. So each one is broken down to a module. So to kind of organize the chaos, I took each module and then broke it down into its own little subsection. So now what we gotta do is put them together. So if you've never messed with tab and slot, this stuff is really awesome. Just as the name implies, tab, slot, everything fits together really tight, well, pretty snug. And then when you go to weld them, you clamp this together, and then it'll actually fix, it actually auto aligns on the edge, so if you hold it straight. Weld it into the little slot here, and that's it. The big thing with these is making sure they're tight. All right, you got to make sure that this tab bottoms out in the slot. Otherwise, it won't be square. So as you do these, like, you just got to make sure everything's squared up. As you put a clamp on here, put pressure, it should square it up, but it's good to just check. So now I'm going to put all these modules together, get them all dry fit and make sure everything fits, and then we'll start tacking it together and see what it looks like. The rotisserie, I'm going to wait. There is some 2x2 square tube that I have to get to go between the legs, so we'll probably just put the ends together, and then once I get the tubing, we'll finish that out. But let's get this part done. Okay, so we have all of our modules except for the actual base. It's shipped in two parts. So there's little lollipop deals here. So I got to bevel this out and then weld these, and then I can put these together. So, but everything else is together. This is our neck. This is the tail, of course. All these modules. So, whole lot of welding to go on now. We got ones, I think this is the knuckle, this might be the knuckle. There's one for knucklehead and flathead, and then one for panhead style and early shovelhead motors, and then it's got everything. So this is for the axle, I think. Actually, I don't know. I'm not gonna say what it is because, to be perfectly honest, I don't know. We'll get to all that in a little bit. So, but now we got a whole lot of welding to do. So we'll get to that, and then I'll bring you back. Here's the base, all welded up. Now only 4,000 more to go. Yeah. Hour and a half of welding or so. Hour-ish. So lots of tabs and slots on this thing. So the rest of it should go pretty quickly just because there's not quite as many. And the parts will be easier to maneuver. So probably going to have to buy some different clamps though. Some metal ones with a smaller footprint. So these guys work, but yeah. So everything's all tight, so should be good. That's gonna do it for tonight. So we'll hopefully finish this thing tomorrow. All right, so it took about 4 hours total. We got everything welded together. Lots of tabs, lots of slots. So everything is together. I did fuck up one thing. Initially I had this on backwards. So these arrows are supposed to point towards the front right. Everything points that way for the jig. And then it all is set up with these arrows here to do a standard panhead frame. But this guy, so it has all these holes in it, and I wasn't paying attention, and I had one of these flip-flops. So didn't realize it until after I had it welded, and I was like, well, shit. And I was just going to try and make it work, but the way the holes are, they won't line up the other way, because I was just going to drill new holes, but that wouldn't work. So I took it back apart. Yeah, it's good now. So now all we gotta do is put it together. Yeah. This thing is very labor intensive. Like, it's a lot of welding. I TIG welded all of it, so because why not? But the base here took an hour just by itself, just because you have to clamp everything, get it all together, and then rotate it and whatnot in order to clamp it. But how this works is everything is on this track. These are raised, and you can see there's very little play in here, so everything lines up really well. But there's these arrows, and if you line the fixtures up with these arrows, it will build you a perfect panhead frame. Alright, so all the 4 sections, you got the rear axle section. This one here is for the transmission. This goes into here. Everything slides up and down like it's supposed to. Alright, I already got that stuck once, so I'm not doing it. Transmission, or sorry, engine. These are the different cradles, or the different jigs for the engines. This one is supposed to be for panhead type bottom, and then I believe this one's for the knuckle and flathead. I could be backwards, but I'm pretty sure. I need to label them. So these just slide onto here, and there's a pivot bolt here, and then you can angle. There's pins that you actually put in here, and that will lock it dead flat. So and then if you don't want to do that, like if you want to put the engine some crazy angles, you can do that. It has all this adjustability here that you can do that, and this looks like an angry face, so it's pretty sweet. Anyway, this here is for the neck. Alright, so this goes in here. As you see, everything is very tight. Well, it's not tight, but it's has a really good fit. That's just the way he designed it. So he said there's 1/10 of an inch of play in this track, so you can move it back and forth, and then this guy goes on that. So enough talk, let's get it together. Yeah, so I kind of fast forwarded here and put the rotisserie together. But here we go. So jig is all together, got everything welded on the rotisserie, and other than some casters, we're good to go. So this thing, I'll show you how it works here. Well, maybe. Yeah. So you got a pin here that locks in, and then this thing is able to rotate. But I need a caster, so it's a little more stable. So originally, I fucked up on the rotisserie because the way he designed it is right here is this right here is where you put a hydraulic cylinder, and those there are the other side. That's supposed to be out here. I put that plate on backwards. Yeah, I didn't realize it until I was welding the legs on, and I was like, this is not right. So it'll work. Actually will benefit us because I wasn't going to use the rams anyway. So yeah, so now we don't have something else sticking out, but whatever. So it probably would have been, it would have just stuck out like here, so it's not that big a deal. But so yeah, this yeah, this whole thing. But anyway, this is actually supposed to be over here, and this is all supposed to be this way. So the legs actually come back here, so we gained a little bit of clearance doing it this way accidentally because it moves it in. So yeah, but both sides are that way, so we're gonna deal with it, because otherwise I gotta take the die grinder and grind these all out and then flip it around. And honestly, it's fine the way it is. It's not gonna hurt anything, so I'm not really worried about it. But it is all together. Shit ton of welding. So all these tabs and slots, as you saw when I welded this, I figured y'all didn't want to watch me weld for 3 hours. So this literally, just the jig itself took 3 hours of welding, and then the rotisserie is all solid full beads, so it took quite some time. So at least another 2 hours in welding on just the jig. Gotta line everything up, all kinds of other shit. So you do have to get the square tubing. So this 2x2 does not come with it. You have to source that locally. So and in his plans, these are actually twice as long. They actually come out way out here, but we shortened them up, keep everything a little tighter. So we'll see if that's a problem later, but now we're able to actually move it around our tiny ass garage and our tiny ass workspace. Because if we had it out full length, this thing would not fit through here at all. So we'll yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Looking forward to putting this thing to use. First thing we're gonna do is our shovelhead frame over there for the shovelhead chopper that we're building. We're gonna put it in the jig and make sure it's actually square. Should be, because when we hardtailed it, did a shit ton of measurements, all the other crap. But we're gonna put it in the jig just to double check before we actually paint it. But that's gonna do it for this video, and stay tuned and see what we do with this. And if you need a frame hardtail, hit up your boy, because this shit ain't cheap. Take care, talk to you later.